Turn on some air in this sucker and get going down the road. Wait for some people to check in. We'll see what happens. Probably take a few minutes. Love me a payday. If you're here, check in. I'll look at the screen here in a second. No one yet. Okay. All right. Right, somebody share. Hey, what's going on, Cole? Excuse me. Trying to chow down on this payday bar. Just cost me $8 damn. When the hell can candy get so freaking expensive? It's crazy. All right. I think that's fast enough. All right. What should we talk about today, Cole? Looks like the show's yours right now. You're the only one actually participating. What should we talk about? There's a myriad of subjects out there. Hopefully we can pick one. I just got back onto the eastern shore of Virginia. Got about an hour's drive left. I figure, what the hell? Let's go live. Let's talk about the day's events, so on and so forth. And maybe we can pick something out that is simple, easy, and straight to the point. Normally it's something like, what do you think of? Question mark. Or, how do you feel about? All right, looks like, do you hear Chuck Norris? No, you're messing with me, right? No. I mean, the last time I saw like a real video of him, like within the past maybe year, he's starting to look his age. I mean, was he in his 70s, maybe even his 80s? Wow. You know, you did. The Chuck Norris memes must be going around. You know. Wow. I had not heard that. I even checked the news before I left North Carolina this morning. Are you pulling my chain? I hope so. He was 86. Wow. What was? Damn, I can't read that. It was on X. Okay, I got you. Yeah. For the people who don't know, please put things in all caps so I can actually read them, because the font is larger on YouTube, and I'll actually be able to read it. I'd actually contemplated like having a pair of reading glasses here in the van, which eventually will make their way in here. But I was like, but then you can't drive with reading glasses. And then I'm going to be like transitioning my eyes from this to that and that to this. Then I don't want to have like transition lenses and stuff like that. But no, that's crazy, man. That's a short subject, man. He was such an awesome dude. I mean, he was the stereotypical 1980s male man figure. You know, it's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. I don't think I need these right now. Oh, that's mind-blowing. All right, next subject. Well, hey, while you guys are typing in the next subject, by the way, guys, so we had the members-only live meetup last night. If you're not a member, I'm not going to tell you to become a member. But what I'm going to tell you is that, so every Thursday I try, and I've been slacking for the last 2 months, because of the move and the girlfriend's cancer schedule and just things. Basically, I'm burning the wick at both ends. So every Thursday, somewhere between 7:30 and 8:30 at night, I try to do this like live. It's like a Zoom call. We used to do it on Discord. Now we do it. Am I fuzzy? Let me hold on. I think I was fuzzy. Anyway, nobody said anything. But we do this live. We just hang out. We just talk about whatevers, tell stories. It doesn't have to be preparedness related stuff. It's just community based stuff. But we did that last night from 8:30 to 9 on the Wire app. Had a great time. I found out Ian. I saw Ian for the first time. If you didn't know this, basically he got burned up in a house fire and lost his mother. We found out all the details. But he's doing great. It's like everything but like a little bit of hair on top of his head was not hasn't come back. But he says he's red, but you couldn't tell. What do we talk? We got Alan from Canada. He's always an interesting character, giving us the down and dirty on the socialist country of Canada. Who else did we have there? We had the Lamb's Light popped in for a little while, but then she had to take a phone call. It was the very first time she'd ever done that, so she was just kind of catching up. What's up, Breacher? Good to see you, man. Or Beecher, there you go. Breacher. Yeah, well, your name always reminds me of that TV show Reacher. But we talked about the Shield of the Americans conference. The Shield. Have you talked about Shield of the Americas? I don't know what that is, Cole. I have not ever talked about that before. It may be something I need to research. Is it like Golden Dome or, I don't know if you guys have been kind of figuring this out, but I'm not even going to say that because I don't know what Shield of the Americas is. But basically, they're starting to make all of these boards and conferences here in America that are organized by the government, and to basically draw in other nations and kind of creating, for lack of better words, I mean, it's like sacrilege to say it, but basically an American UN. So I don't know what that is. Trump appointed Christy Naomi to help bring more security to North and South America. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. So yeah, once again, it's going to be like, another mini UN. Yeah, no, I remember. Now that you say Naomi, I probably said her name wrong 3 times. Yeah, I remember that's what that was. That was what she got. Basically everybody hates you, but we're going to keep you anyway. I never had a problem with the girl. Yeah, get around that guy. Let me get around this guy, man. Go the speed limit, Jasper. How do I know it's Jasper? It said Jasper on his truck. Never put your name on your truck. Rumor digital currency is in the SAVE Act. I don't know, but I know that there is actually there's another bill that is on the floor or may have actually passed the House that make digital a CBDC illegal in the United States. So I don't know if that's conflicting bill or the same bill or whatever it may be. I'm really trying to pay attention to the SAVE Act, but because they've got the whole the debate, the standing something. It's basically it's a giant debate clause. It's different than normal debates. Normal debates are normally only 1 hour, but this one is goes on forever. They're supposedly the earliest they can vote on it is Sunday. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. You're gonna have to pass the bill to see what's in it. But yeah, I'm not gonna buy in on the frickin' this, that, and the other thing, because there's always going to be amendments. I know there were some bill that was on the floor yesterday of the Senate for approval, and they put a couple of amendments in it. I don't know exactly what they were, but because it was only like, I really want to see what's going on with the SAVE Act, but I don't want to listen to everybody crying about how their IDs aren't going to work. They're going to have to go prove, you know, basically it's something new, and we don't like new things, and we don't want to do this, and because they know that people are generally, one, you'll have to frickin' prove that you're legal to vote in the United States. That's what I'll say about that. And two, you'll have to do it before the midterms. So not only are they cutting their fake voter base down to nothing, but they know that Americans are genuinely like lazy. Only the people who care about what's going on in the country will actually go get their birth certificates and their social security cards and their driver's license, and then go to, you know, the voting office and be properly vetted. You know what I'm saying? It's all right, we got here. I think that one passed never a crock, but another can create a DC. I don't know what. I appreciate the text, bro, but I think that one passed never be crock, but anyone can create a DC. Not translating. What's up, Grumpy Eggers? Good to see you, bro. We will find out if the Republicans have the will to save. Doesn't pass. Hello to Dem Control in November. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. I haven't heard anybody like use that as like a, you know, a dog whistle, or they're probably using that term wrong, but use that as a way to get people to do things. A fear tactic, like do something or it's going to be over with. But I mean, it's a definite possibility. It's a definite possibility because the numbers are so thin right now. And then we're going to be losing, Mullen out of the Senate. So that's one less vote we've got. You know, it's, I really do hate, even though a person could be eminently qualified to hold a specific position, I really do hate that we take them out of the House and the Senate, because it's my belief that if somebody voted them in, that if you're leaving your job and it's not because your family needs you, there's a major emergency, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like you signed the MFing contract, dude. You know, you said, hey, come vote for me. I'll do some work for you for, 2 to 6 years, whichever, spot you're in. And then you're like, no, well, the president really needs me to be the secretary of Flim Flam, which you could be eminently qualified for and do a super duper job. You still stole what those people voted for. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. People will stay home if the Republicans can't make save happen. I believe you. I just don't want to. I truly want to believe that people will engage. The problem is politics is the daily. If you turn on the news at 5 p.m. on any freaking channel, all it is politics for the next hour. If you turn on the news at the 3 o'clock local news, you know what I'm saying? What did it used to be? 5 o'clock was the local, 6 o'clock was the national news. But if you turn it on to the local news, You know, it's like nothing but politics at the local level, and then a snippet about the weather that's normally half wrong. You got to have the one puff piece about how the dog saved the cat from the tree, you know, and then you got to have the crime report. Oh, don't forget about traffic. Maybe some traffic if you're trying to get home or whatever. That's a little late though. But I think you're getting my point. It's all politics. Politics has become mainstream, and it could be a good thing that politics has become a mainstream because it keeps people informed about current issues. The problem is it's done exactly the opposite. It's just politics is now the freaking the Telemundo Espanol soap opera, soap opera. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let's see who can get taken down this week. You know, let's see who said what this week. You know, it's gotten so crazy that it's like starting to dull out a little bit. And I think, you know, a perfect example of it, it's been coming on for a while. I'll be honest with you. This will be a great segment for me to snip, but I'm not going to do it. It's been coming on for a while with me personally and Dr. Rand Paul. You know, he has been not just a thorn in the side of the Republican Party for at least 10 years, but he has been a thorn in the side of democracy for 10 years, at least. He used to be this, you know, he's got libertarian ideas. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's a Republican, to be honest with you. I mean, is he a Republican or a libertarian? Somebody put it in the chat. But he's been, it's not, you know, it used to be like one of the heroes of the Republic, you know, trying to balance the imaginary checkbook for the people. That's who that guy used to be. And little by little by little by little, he has just turned into, you know, he refuses to make any concessions. You know, he lives on top of his giant white steed, you know, and it's becoming a little bit, well, he's gone beyond arrogance, to be honest with you. But he likes to present himself as a man of the people. Now, when I'm saying all this stuff, and this is all just my opinion, you feel free to disagree. I watched the opening remarks for Senator Mullen's confirmation hearing the other day. And if you didn't know that, Dr. Paul is the chairman of that committee. And Dr. Paul opened his statements by attacking Senator Mullen for saying that he understood why that man attacked him on his lawnmower that day 8 years ago. He went on a diatribe, called him a liar, called him, you know, basically every tactful name in the book he could find. And then when given the opportunity to reply, Senator Mullen basically told him, "You're a liar." And I didn't say any of those things. And I'm really sorry that you got hurt, but I still understand why that person did what they did to you. I didn't say I condoned it. And Paul just boom, 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 double, triple, quadruple down, trying to destroy him. And then when he had his 7 minutes, then when Dr. Paul had his 7 minutes to question him, all he could do was talk about being beat up and how you don't have the temperament to run this department. Because some guy tried to call him out while they were in a hearing like a year ago. And he told him, like, if you want to go, we can go. Oh, I can definitely go. We can go right now. Okay, let's go. And he stood up. I think Dr. Paul, his persona tough guy, has been exposed as a complete fake. I can't disrespect him for being the person that he is, or doing the things that he's done, or the people that he's helped in the past. But right now, we don't need Dr. Paul right now. Right now, we need the people who will stand up and take a punch in the face. Because I thought it was ironic that, although I don't think he saw it coming. I don't think Dr. Paul saw it coming when his whole diatribe was about how he was, he didn't have the temperament to hold that type of position because he was going to go, toe to toe with another man. Oddly enough, that man was sitting behind him with a smile on his face, looking at Dr. Paul like, by the way, we know each other as men now, and we're friends. We're good friends. And this is the mentality that we should be taking into our future right now. Because you know what? There's a thing amongst men that a lot of people don't understand. And that's right, I'm not even looking at the comments. But there's a thing amongst men that most people don't understand, is that after we have it out with each other, there's a really good chance that we're going to become friends for life. All right, I'm going to look at the comments here real quick. Go touch grass. Not the 420 kind. I don't think I can't read that. That's too small. Beecher, make sure to type all caps. Yeah. Oh, I turn that off. That's a little alarm. It's a little alarm. All right, guys, you put something in the chat right there. I'm gonna choose. I know there's only a handful of you in here, but I'm gonna see if I can't get half of my Payday bar in while you're putting the next subject. It's on you. You are guiding the live stream. And I don't know what it is, but coffee ain't doing it for me anymore. I used to drink coffee and then just keep drinking it and driving, drinking and driving, drinking and driving. Now, about 3 or 4 hours into it, I'm just like, gotta pull over and get me some of that Rev gum. That Rev gum is a lifesaver. Everybody should have a pack of Rev gum in their car. You can pick it up at Walmart. No, I don't work there. It's normally in one of the checkout lines. Make sure you get the caffeinated stuff, unless you're allergic to caffeine. But it is a life changer. You could be dazed out, and then you pop this thing in, you start chewing it up, that caffeine goes right into your bloodstream. Wide awake, good to go for the next couple of hours, easy. All right. Aspartame, yeah, it's not good for you. It's probably in there. I would read the back. Let's see what the text looks like on the back of this thing. Oh, it's even worse. It's even smaller than trying to read the screen. Yeah, it's not good for you, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot to be said for staying awake while you're driving. I just can't pull over and take a nap. What the hell? There's no, the subject is definitely not aspartame, because I am not talking about aspartame. Aspartame, bad. Next subject. .357 mag tabs. No, I've never used those before. I've taken the caffeine tablets before, but I've never used the 357 mags, or what was the other one? It was like Wasp or Stinger or something like that. you smoke green hands? Lots of green hands, I think. No, I don't smoke. I smoke cigars. I don't smoke whatever that is. I think if you want to, go ahead, but I don't. I can't tell you that it's generally costing me. This is my 4th trip so far, as far as doing the moving. But this is the 4th trip so far, and on average, it's about between $100 and $105 to pay for the trip with gas. I don't know that that's bad, but I think obviously your gas prices are going to have a lot to do with where you live. For whatever reason, I still don't know. I've never understood that crap. But I can tell you that gas in North Carolina on the coast is anywhere from $3.49 to $3.69, and gas here on the Eastern Shore is $3.69 to $3.89. So yeah, there's that. God, I've had all these people in here and I only have 2 thumbs up. How many thumbs up do I got, and how many people are in this thing right now? I mean, I hate that YouTube doesn't give a lot of notifications out. Unless I like schedule it like yesterday. I got it at 319 yesterday here, and 3 likes on my side. Gotcha. 3 likes? Are you serious? We've had all these people in here, only 3 likes. Why are people so lazy? There's something, I think, with the whole like thing. There's something to be said for scrolling. Because in our brains, it's like, you're not like watching this video and you're like 2 minutes into it and you're like, wow, I really like this video. Where's that? Yeah, I need to tell everybody I like this video. We either watch the whole thing or we don't, but either way, we're going to scroll on to the next video. And maybe it's on our phone, maybe it's on our PC. Catch myself all the damn time just going to the next video. So I literally have to, like, in the middle of a video, I have to be like, decide if I like it or not, just to make sure that I give the guy credit. And if I don't, and I'll give him a thumbs down too if it sucks, don't get me wrong. And if I don't, then I actually feel bad, you know. I think you might be in top. You know what? You're right. I'm in top chat. All right, let me fix that. All right, so you were right. I was in top chat, but okay, you're right. So Cole had put something in here. Do you think the rhinos are planted by Democrats, or do you think they're more like Republicans? So I kind of got this theory because I was talking to Alan from Canada last night in the members only meetup that we do. It's kind of like a Zoom call. We can see each other's faces. We can hear each other's voices. Something to think about if you really wanted to get in on it at the doomsday level. Link in the description. Anyway, you know, in Canada, what these elected officials are doing, because Canada has gone full socialists, you basically have a conservative side and you have a socialist side, and the socialists are running the show now, all the way to the top. And so people are crossing the aisle. I mean, literally, they literally get up because they have a parliament, right? They literally get out of their seats, and then they declare, and then they walk across the aisle and sit down on the other side. What happened to the people who voted for him? You know, that's like here, the governor here in Virginia. You know, she was marketed as a moderate. She marketed it as like, all these things they're saying about me, they're 100% lies. We can prove it. Well, of course, they never offer proof, and that's what she did. She was supposed to be this lamb, but she was a wolf in sheep's clothing, and now she is like the most radical governor. She is like the most radical governor that Virginia has ever seen, and one of the major reasons I'm moving out of this state, because it is going to get bad. There is no way around it. You know, they don't have a supermajority in the legislature, but it's damn close to it. And now they've got a governor and they've got an attorney general that are exactly the people that their opponents told everyone they are, proving it every stinking day, writing gun legislation that exempts them from the gun legislation, giving themselves a raise. You know, it's insane. And I think the worst part about it is that there's a group of people that are out there on the left here in Virginia that are watching this going, yeah, because everything they ran on was ignore what our opponents are saying and orange man bad. So there's like this percentage of people in the Democrat Party here in Virginia that are just like, yeah, they're getting like freaking, you know, political boners over what's happening. Finally, we're going to get something done. But they don't see the trap closing on them. It's like they're blind to it. It doesn't make any sense at all. So, circling back, these rhinos, I think that they're not necessarily implants. I mean, that's political strategy thinking that may or may not be true or whatever. It could be right. But I think they're more the people who see the writing on the wall in a specific state or in a specific Congress or Senate, like the U.S. Congress and Senate, and they're just crossing the aisle. They know that they can't go back to their voters and say, oh, by the way, I woke up this morning, my balls sucked back up inside of me, and now I'm a Democrat. They can't do that. They can't do that. You know, set my cruise control here. I think blatantly lying to voters should be punished. Yeah, I mean, but everybody, you know, but then you go down that path of, you know, are they really telling a lie? Did they not know the truth when they got into office? Which is possible, you know, which changes their perspective. Once they sit down with their staff and anybody who's going to brief them, it changes their perspectives. The same thing happens with every single president we've ever had. And that's why a lot of the stuff that they promise, they can't actually do. You know, it all sounds great. You know, and anybody who's anybody has to admit that Captain Red Tie has done a whole buttload of stuff that he said he was going to do. And there are some things that he did that he said he wasn't going to do. You know, I'm still one of those people who believes in his country and that believes that his president, you know, is going to do the right thing, you know, even if down deep in my gut, it's like, dude, don't trust this guy. Dude, don't trust this woman. She's lying through her teeth. You know. not a real governor, so they can do what they want. I don't know what that's about. I'm not seeing anything there I can act on, guys. So I'm going to take another bite of my bar while you put something in there for me to yammer on about. Think Republicans win in the midterms? I hope so. Is that Bullseye's icon I see? Bullseye Ben, there you go. What's going on, bro? Yeah, we were talking about Chuck earlier. It's a shame. 86 years old. I hope so. It's really difficult because traditionally Republicans don't win midterm elections. You know, we had the red wave, you know, back in the Ted Cruz, you know, big time time period. I can't remember what year that was, but we had the huge red wave and took over the House, like totally took over the House. We've got some questionable Democrats that are in office right now that could be losing their seats. I haven't heard it, you know, I hate to say it, but it feels like a wash. It feels like we might retain control of the House, but Republicans just don't show up for midterms, man. They show up for the presidential elections, and they show up for primaries, you know, and that's why we end up with lackluster, you know, applicants for the job that the left can just punch holes in. And the people who are eminently qualified to fill these positions that would really do good for the country, they don't show up because it's like it's a no-win scenario. I mean, you really got to have a reason to want to be you know, a representative, you know, a senator, you know, a member of Congress. You've got to really have like a desire. There's got to be something more behind it. And then after your 2 to 6 years, you realize it's not possible and you leave. Or you conform. That's something we see a lot of. You know, I love when it's like you never. So if you ever hear somebody talking in Congress and it's like, you know, I really like what the you know, the senior senator from Ohio has to say about this. It's like, that's all that's going on there. And whenever somebody's like, well, you know, I really like him as a person, but, because everything before but doesn't mean shit, Game of Thrones. But the junior senator from Wisconsin hasn't been around long enough to really understand what's happening right now. Yeah, that's basically get back in your place. Shut up, keep. And that kind of that hierarchy, that crap exists. Voted senator, equal. No. You gotta play the game. You gotta put the knee pads on. You want to be on a committee? You want to have a real say in something? No. Get that lube out, man. You gotta play the game, and that's a problem. That's a really, really serious problem. Rhinos are planted by the left, I think. That's very possible, man. Anything's possible. It's all about, you know, it's like, so in the absence of information, people will theorize. That happens every day. There's just things we will never know. Not for the greater good, but because we don't work in that building. You know what I'm saying? We don't work there. I don't know that guy. Same Ben Democrats did the Dixie Southern strategists in the, can't read that, and Tots. Is there a party switch? The great party switch. Yeah, I mean, factually it happened. People don't want to believe it. I hate to say it, people on the left don't want to believe it. People on the left, there may be people on the left that know it's true, but will never like regurgitate it, because then that would mean that it was really true, and they don't want it to be true. It actually did happen. It's all about who you know and corruption. I mean, that's true. That is true. I was really surprised about the whole, what is it, Ryan Hall? No, not Ryan Hall, y'all. Damn it. Who's the guy I swear to God his name is Ryan. He's the guy who's the, he's like special forces, CIA operative, that kind of guy. He does the interviews, or he's got a pretty big podcast. Him and I don't think he was senator. Maybe the guy, he's in Congress. He had the eye patch on. Called him out for being corrupt. Oddly enough, after all of that Navy SEAL dick swinging, the guy's not running for re-election. Makes you wonder, right? Jack Ryan. No, Jack Ryan is a fictitious character. Wait a minute, maybe Jack Ryan is the guy with the eye patch. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was going on last month. Apparently, like some guy, like he got him to like SEAL to come, or someone like that, to come sing at his daughter's, bar mitzvah. Not possible. Anyway, and that costs like $100,000. Where'd that money come from? You're just a congressman. How do you have that kind of money? And it's all questionable. I'm gonna have to stop at a red light. It's good, because then I can read the chat if there's anything in there. They published a lie to the minorities, having them think the Democrats are for them. Well, yeah, it's all a big fat lie. It's all about the votes. Let's get the votes. But I mean, at a certain point, it's like, where are the votes really coming from? How much do the votes even count anymore? It's all. Oh man, I didn't want to theorize about it, because then I'd have to realize that, like, my entire country's, way of life is completely corrupt and evil. It's all just a big machine designed to keep people coming back to the polls and saying, "You're the greatest," when you're really just a turd. Brock says no party switch, just a gradual alignment on certain issues. You mean a gradual realignment on certain issues? And yeah, but that's what a switch would be, right? If things were to realign. All government, all fraud, all the time. Yeah, it's like a good commercial, right? All government, all fraud, all the time. News at 11. Oh man, I really wish you hadn't written that in small text. His supporters are nothing but I can't read it now. Something cult. History is written by the victor. 100% true. Corn-wise. Corn, I don't listen to Corn, man. That's too much. I prefer Five Finger Death Punch. Corn's too far over the top. But I can tell you that I was very happy. I was able to get all of my firearms out of the state of Virginia before that before that law was actually even passed the legislature. Which and it's kind of funny because one of the laws is it's stuck now because the legislature approved it and sent it to the governor for signature. But before she could sign it, there was a Supreme Court case that basically said, these magazine bans are stupid. Don't give me any crap about 10 rounds. That's basically, they struck all that down. I want to say it was an Ohio. That's a DC case, I think. And the opinions were written in such a way that it was like, this is stupid. This is unconstitutional. It's 100% clearly 100% unconstitutional. Strike it down, So now we've got this magazine ban here in Virginia that went to the governor and she didn't sign it. So now it's just out there floating. My gut is that she's going to try and sign it anyway and just say, no, we'll just fight it. It's going to stay law and you've got until July to give up your 11 round magazines, you scallywags, Would a good prepper item be a distillery? Yes. It's multifunction, but I would be cautious to have a distillery in your possession based on your state's laws. In the state of North Carolina, being in possession of a distillery item is a felony in this state. I can make all the wine I want, but I can't own, distillery paraphernalia. Even if like signed intent, certified, this is just for distilling water in case of an emergency. It's still against the law. So I would look at your state laws, but yeah, definitely distillery, because it's multifaceted. You could distill alcohol for the purpose of making alcohol to clean wounds. You could distill alcohol for the purpose of making a barter item in like an SHTF situation. And if you really wanted to, you could distill alcohol for personal consumption as long as it is within the laws of your state, So that's actually a good prepper question. Rip Chuck Norris. Yep, someone else saw Chuck. Yep, we were this is the third time we talked about Chuck Norris, but yes, that man who when he didn't do push-ups, he did push-aways. Chuck Norris, chin punch. I'm making agave wine and want to distill it. I got you. That sounds interesting. Yeah, so you want to make tequila is what you're saying, right? Well, those all fancy words for saying I want to make some tequila? Sounds like a plan. Check your local laws. I agree. All gun laws are unconstitutional. I'm not one of those people that think that like there shouldn't be laws, there shouldn't be regulations on, possessing certain types of firearms, like machine gun, like a real machine gun, like an M240 Golf or a 240 SAW or whatever the military is using now. But a full auto semi-automatic weapon is never going to be a machine gun, even if it's full auto, because it just doesn't meet the nomenclature description for that. And that's why they write these regulations, so that they can classify certain weapon systems. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's fun to blow shit up and, just go out and, waste $1.23 per round, and crank off 500 rounds out of an old M60. It's a lot of fun. The bigger the better, you know what I'm saying? That's what I say. But functionality-wise, it's not really a lot of use. I mean, it may bring you joy, and you may have a $5,000 machine gun, and you may also own a $5,000 four-wheeler, and they both bring you joy, and that's their purpose. But You're not going to mow anybody down with a $5,000, you know, four-wheeler. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the big difference. I think we do need laws. That's how we stay. You know, we do need boxes as human beings. Otherwise, it turns into the Wild Wild West. And you send your kid to the store for a pack of smokes, and he gets shot up by somebody doing stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have rules. So, okay, let's see here. I think that's going to be about it for today, guys. It's Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. For those of you that hung up the full time, appreciate you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. That's going to be about it. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.